I think we
Yes,
are
we
live.
are.
We are live. Good afternoon or good morning, depending upon where you are.
Yes, good
Welcome,
morning.
welcome. We are Aquinas Senior Living, and we are here today with our second webinar. I'm Len Poncia, our chairman. To my right is Steve Schmidt, our chief executive officer. To my left is Gina, our investors relations manager. And I'm hoping you see on the screen our executive VP, Michael Hines, as well, is with us down in Florida. So welcome,
Yes.
welcome, welcome. We're so happy to have you here. And today's an exciting day for us as we're about to share, as I guess we go to the next screen, please, that, let's see,
There we go.
let's see.
This is our disclaimer page.
No, not yet.
Not
We got
yet.
the intro. We got the intro
Oh,
first. There we
There
go.
we go.
Let me know when it comes up for everyone.
Okay, it's there.
Is it up for everyone? There we go. Wow, that's really up. So, as I was saying, we're really excited today to share with you the first distribution that will be provided to our investors very soon. And today, we do have to share with you that today is a little bit more fluid because our chief operating officer, Jim Burnham, who was scheduled to be with us today as well. Unfortunately, he hurt his back carrying his elderly dog up some steps yesterday. So we here at Aquinas Senior Living not only care for the elderly community, but we also take care of our elderly pets as well.
Yeah.
But in any event, why don't we go to the next screen? And while the required compliance and disclosure and disclaimer are up for a minute for everyone to review, let me just share with you again who we are. At Aquinas Senior Living, we turn senior living communities into welcoming, well-run places that truly feel like home. We are meeting the growing demand, the growing need for quality, mid-market senior living communities, providing housing with a care-first priority, combining both empathy and technology with operational excellence. We are honored, and we honor every season of life by putting compassion, dignity, meaningful connection at the heart of everything we do. For us, Aquinas Senior Living is not a job, it's a vocation. And we are mission focused to provide the best care for our seniors, a level of care and support, and if I could be so bold, love that you would want for your parents, grandparents, and yourselves. For us, our mantra is to do well by doing good, and we live that every day. Next screen, please. With that, I'll share with you, Steve will share with you some market information, but I will point out, although Jim is not with us today because of his injury, Gina and I will attempt to backfill some of the good news he wanted to share with everyone today. But first, we'll start with you, Steve.
Yes, good afternoon and good morning, everyone. So as the title of this presentation noted, we're very excited to talk about first distribution for investors who will become investors in the company by April 30th. Typically, the structure is that after the close of the next full month or 45 days after the investment, on the 15th, in this case of June, people will receive their first distribution based upon a 10% per annum return of their initial investment. And so that would be the cadence going forward each month thereafter, roughly 45 days after the close of the initial investment, and then on the middle of the month thereafter. Going forward, we expect that as more of our assets are brought into our fold and we improve them from a cash flow perspective, we expect that pool of distribution capital will grow. And with that, of course, we anticipate more investors joining us. So it's pretty straightforward, pretty simple. The information is on the website in terms of how to become an investor. And then thereafter, if you're invested by the 30th, you can expect your first distribution by June 15th thereafter.
Next
Next
slide.
slide. So one of the important things to recall, if you joined us last time, and if not, if this is your first webinar with Aquinas Senior Living, is we're focused in the Mid-Atlantic and the states as you see on the screen, Pennsylvania, Maryland, Virginia, Delaware, West Virginia, and New Jersey, which is a concentration of seniors in the 75 and up population demographic. The market is also constrained in terms of new development. That's true across the country just because of COVID and the lack of construction to keep up with what would have been a normal construction cycle. But now, because we've had that dearth or that void in construction, there's a shortage. There's a shortage of enough senior housing to meet the demand of people who are in this category that would seek senior housing. That's good if you're an operator. And from our perspective, because of our business plan, we're in a good spot with that because what we're trying to acquire are assets that can be repositioned. Instead of constructed, we're repositioning. And so we believe that we know there's sufficient supply in our region, in the states that we're working in order to continue to build out our assets that we acquire, renovate, improve, bring new technology, and provide housing for seniors in that middle demographic, which is where we're focused.
And before you go any further, I failed to mention, everyone, that please send your questions anytime during our presentation, and we will answer as many as we can during the webinar time slot that we have allotted. And just to reinforce what Steve had shared, at the highest level, well-meaning as some of these regional or mom and pop senior living operators may be, sadly, they're not run well or profitably, and the level of care is not what you or I would want. And we're making that difference. We're finding a way to reinvigorate, renew, revitalize, and provide that care first priority, but with the support that we've gotten from our team, our experience that we bring to the table, our level of knowledge in caring for the elderly, and the partnerships that we have that allow us to be profitable. And by doing so, obviously, the profitability allows us to provide a much better level of care. So it all goes hand in hand.
Yeah. The care and compassion is central to that.
No doubt.
Just a little bit more about the company and the structure and the revenue side of our business. Again, I had mentioned we're dealing in a geographic market, and in a market segment that is undersupplied. We are diligently, through our network, sourcing opportunities for acquisition. We have the team that gets involved to improve both the physical plant. Our other team members are very focused on the managerial side of operations. And so we're bringing new ideas, new technologies, new training, and staff is really resounding with this because they're there because they want to be there in many cases. They're there to help make this quality of life better for the seniors who are housed at our communities. In 2026, back to the distributions for a moment, Aquinas has planned and is on track to elect Real Estate Investment Trust or REIT status in 2026. This means that not less than 90% of our net operating income will be paid out in the form of dividend distributions to our investors. And that bodes well for somebody who's involved with us. The capital that we are raising through this effort will allow us to continue to acquire more communities, to improve the communities that we have. And in our footprint, that will spread out the source of capital from different states, different regions. And obviously, the types of communities, assisted living, personal care, memory care that we're acquiring will also be diversified. Next slide. Now, this is where Jim was going to step in,
Okay.
so we'll all kind of
Right, so
freewheel this one.
Gina and I will try to backfill in Jim's absence, but we've got a lot of great things to share. Um, as Jim was about to provide today in his absence, we're happy to point out that we have clearly shown some improving total revenue. Our revenue per resident day, our 2026 budget today and forecasted has exceeded by percentages that we're so pleased to be satisfied with. And resident occupancy is not only stable, but is improving on all levels, including hospice care in our communities. Gina, your turn.
For the expansion to Teton to the Wynwood House, we also have it was instituted at State College on 4/1 and at Nittany Valley on 4/9. Penns Valley and Green Hills infrastructure has started.
Now, my turn again. We're happy to share that we just had a ribbon cutting last week at Heritage Springs in Lewisburg. We've opened up another wing for memory care with 30 private apartments, and we're thrilled to be able to provide that truly needed and happy to support our staff in doing so.
And let me say something on that. I attended that ribbon cutting, and the level of excitement and the energy that our staff and the families of residents who reside there was extraordinary when they learned about the technology called Teton. And let's just take a second for those who don't know. Teton is our monitoring system. We've partnered with the Danish company that developed it, and it essentially puts eyes on and ears on residents 24/7 every day of the year. And it does so in an unobtrusive way, such that privacy is protected, but for our staff, we're able to get the important information we need about the resident from all things such as sleeping soundness, heartbeat, temperature, whether they're a fall risk or not. And I'll say our regional director indicated that with Teton operating in the first community that we put it in, they reduced fall risk by about 82%.
Wow, that's incredible.
82%. Well, that means 8 out of 10 people didn't fall because of this technology. We were able to get to them timely, and we're able to help avoid that occurrence. So
And we are the
just wanted
first
say
to
that.
be implementing the technology here in the United States,
With
and we'll
Teton.
continue to provide that to our communities. And that is also a bullet point. We're about to share it a
Yeah,
little bit,
there
but
you go.
that's okay. And before Gina steps up again, if you want to be the best place to be cared for, you want to be the best place to work at. And that is the mindset and focus that we provide every day. And it's contagious because everyone sees that we really care, that care first priority, that care for our employees and our team members. And together, the rising tide lifts all boats, and the level of care is what we would want. Gina, you're up.
So that goes right into our improved employee retention. We have 38% improvement in Wynwood House and 25% improvement in Heritage Springs. Also, medical benefits program launched at 4/1 with a strong acceptance from the teams.
Okay, I'm up again. And we have exciting new training initiatives. Heritage Springs launched a certified dementia care practitioner program. First class of 10 employees successfully completed in early April. The goal is to have 100% compliance by end of the year. And as Steve had touched on, our partnership with Teton brings an AI-powered, hospital-grade preventive monitoring to our communities. I'm going to try to pronounce this word by using atomized computer vision,
Yeah.
which respects the privacy of our residents, but monitors the residents' vitals and detects subtle changes, whether it be in their movement or behavior in real time. So Teton alerts our care teams before small concerns escalate into bigger issues or emergencies.
Let me just touch one brief moment again on that certified dementia care program. This is totally voluntary. our company's initiative is to encourage our staff to become certified in this care. But when a family is looking for adult care for their loved one, these are the sort of the benefits that we will be able to offer that many of our competitors don't. And you want to put your loved one in the hands of somebody who's qualified, capable, compassionate, has the skill set and the medical knowledge, the training to be able to care for your mother or father when they're put into when they move into adult.
Right, and I'll share the acceptance rate of some of the services we provide, including Teton, is almost 100%. People see the value of it right out of the gate.
Yep.
And I think the next slide is for you, Michael.
Yes, hello, and thank you everyone for taking the time out of your day to join us. My colleagues did such an excellent job on taking taking everyone through the business case, but I would like to revisit, a few things, and I'll be efficient with my time. Gina, could you roll back the slides to the beginning after the disclaimer page? Next one. Okay. I just want to cover the business case, and again, I will summarize, but I do want to touch on some points. So just to repeat, our business case it's needs based. There's a tremendous need throughout the country to care for our seniors, and there's a lack of good quality housing. Okay, so we are a regionally concentrated platform, and right now we've chosen the Mid-Atlantic states, but there's a lot of advantages to that. It's one of the most underserved areas in the country, the Mid-Atlantic and the Northeast. So that's one of the reasons. The other reason is because a lot of our management team is based there, which is also an advantage because they have deep roots in the community. The second thing is we're not just real estate. We have operational control of our communities. So we are able to take these communities, which might not be optimally managed when we purchase them, and we can institute the things that my colleagues described, okay, as far as economic efficiencies, the technological improvements, and improvements in workflow. The technology improvements are really exciting to us. It's an area that we're continually evaluating different technologies. The Teton is fantastic. Our staff is thrilled with it. The resident families are very happy with it. And there's additions to that coming almost, every few months. So we're very excited about that. That technology enables us, going back to what Len referred to as a care first policy, by freeing up our staff of mundane tasks, they are able to spend more time with the residents. And we're going to continue to build on that. It's very, very important to us. It's not just something, they're not just lines that we throw out there. It's something we're committed to. Going back to our regional density and our relationships, when I say the regional density, the way that our facilities are positioned, we're trying to position them in such a fashion that they're not terribly far distance-wise from each other, so that it can work with some of our vendor relationships. It works with our staffing, and it also works with our partners like Meraki, because they're based in Pennsylvania, not far from where we are. So that's a tremendous advantage for us. All right, I don't want to take up too much of your time, but I hope that closed some of the little gaps we might have left out, and we look forward to your questions.
Let me just scroll down if you would. I think we've got one more. There we go. Yep. So now, wrapping up for a moment before we jump to the questions. We are truly blessed. We're blessed in many ways. We have an unbelievable dedicated leadership team that bring a depth of experience, knowledge, and talent, and a care first priority that we all share. We're of the same yoke, and for us, that means everything. In addition to that, as we've touched on several times now, we are implementing the appropriate technology that others don't have at all, to provide a level of care that you just don't see every day, no matter what community you're at. And in addition to that, we're so fortunate to have the institutional partnership of entities like Marikey, the country's largest nonprofit caring for the most vulnerable in our society. They saw that we too were of the same mindset, mission focus, care first priority, supporting our team members who leave it on the field every day to provide that level of care that you'd want for your parents, your grandparents, yourselves. That combination is incredibly formidable. First and foremost, because the people are receiving the care you would want. And secondly, by default, you are now proceeding forward in a profitable manner that allows us to provide that level of care and to provide the returns that today's webinar was all about, celebrating our first distribution. So we're thrilled to provide that today. I'm excited that I've been part of our second webinar, which for elderly people like Steve and I, we don't do every day. And we're here to open the questions. We've just got a few minutes, but we're happy to field any questions that might be out there for us.
See what we might have here.
I can't see that part.
There you go.
Cool.
All right. First one, what about after June 15th? What are they and how often? Okay. Distributions will be made monthly, the middle of the month. The 15th is the target date. They'll be remitted by ACH payments to the account that you designate when you become a shareholder.
I can't read it.
How sure is the 10%? Will
Yeah,
that
it
fluctuate
should.
month to month?
So the 10% is a contractual obligation. That is the goal. That is what the investment is predicated on. So that's fixed number.
It's the goal, of course.
Yeah.
The next one says, I would be investing for income. Will, sorry, I'm going to get out of the screen so I can read it properly. Will it really come monthly? And how sure of you of this and why? Percentage of occupancy.
So yes, it will come monthly. Again, that is the contractual obligation that is outlined in the investor materials that are on the website. The schedule is monthly. And what was the last part?
Well, let me jump in on that. Jim is not here with us, and I don't have the exact percentages. I can only tell you that the occupant, first of all, the demand is so strong. The supply is so constrained. And when we have communities that we are providing that are just an great improvement for the area, it's just natural that they fill up because there are many people that have that need. So I would offer, although I don't have the exact percentage without Jim, that our occupancy only continues to improve and improve and improve.
Since acquiring these two portfolios, we have improved occupancy pretty considerably. So
can you,
right.
No, I think the next one below that would be, this will be I think our last one. We could.
Okay.
Says,
Mr. Chairman, can you explain how and why empathy is actually provided?
Sure. I learned English in school. My first language was Italian. I come from very humble roots, and I learned very early on in life what grounds you and makes you most important. And for me, for those around me, for my family, those close to me. There's nothing more important than the feeling in your heart knowing that you cared for someone. It's always in giving that makes you feel so wonderful inside of what you're achieving. And I believe that's what empathy is about. And as I shared earlier in our webinar, when you lead with that focus, with that mission to provide care like you would care for your own family, it's contagious. People see that. They embrace it. They take ownership and authorship to it. And together, there's, it's care, it's support. And if I could be so bold, it's love. We provide a loving environment and people know it. It feels like home. So that's the empathy that we refer to. That is the mission of who we are. That is what we're all about. That's what we live every day, doing well by doing good. And by the grace of God, we will continue to do so.
And we lead by example. I mean, there's no doubt about it that our staff knows what's first and foremost in caring for our residents. And they rise to the occasion and sometimes really bring new ideas and
That's
new
right.
talents.
The rising tide lifts all boats, and we welcome everyone's participation.
Yeah.
And together we achieve great things. Gina, just come back in for one more second. We're going to wish you all, thank you very much for joining us today. Not sure I remember the topic for our next webinar, but we'll make sure
Yeah,
to let
we'll
you know.
get it out there.
And thanks again so much for sharing some time with us, and have a wonderful day.
Take care. Thank you.
Yes,
Bye now.
thank you.